are being followed. And some of the comments, some even attributed to Speaker of the Senate, is that there are laws and probably this kind of action is already provided for in such laws. That is a concern, that abductions cannot really be provided for in law. What do you say to that?
Abductions in themselves are bad, and I think I've been on record with my church ministers in Tana River this December condemning the same. But I think listening to the debate on both sides, I feel that everybody is right, okay? People are right saying that children are disappearing, or some people are disappearing and it can't be explained. On the other hand, the rebuttal from the police is that you are also blaming us. Sometimes you are overdoing it, because I was watching media yesterday and I saw one of the people who was supposed to have been abducted by police was actually drowned, according to the police report, and nothing has been controverted. The other person whose body was found was a victim of a RTA, road traffic accident, and which was fatal. So again, the police are saying something, and there is also a public outcry on this. The thing is, we must remember that sometimes, just like hunger, just like debt crisis, just like insecurity, sometimes we need to come together as a nation to deal with matters that are so grave that they can affect the stability of the state itself. I remember some time ago, Mexico had a very serious problem in terms of abductions, and it actually became an election issue, and a president who was promising to get rid of these abductions got elected, and he did what he had to do, using force, declaring very tough laws on that side of the coin. I remember also abductions being a very big issue in Colombia with the FARC rebels, and it was a really big issue that the FARC rebels were fighting a standing government, and they would, kidnappings and abduction became a normal way of threatening authority. But the person who I think did it in a very huge way was what was called the president for life in Haiti, Papa Doc. At that time it was called Duvalier. Mm-hmm. That person used to actually just, he made it normal to, he was a dictator, never followed any law, practiced a lot of voodoo and threatened people, and made abductions a normal thing, a normal way of governance. And it was bad. So when people bring in these discussions, and especially when they mention the president, the implication is that the president is involved. And for me, I think that is taking the matter into a political way. We shouldn't deal with issues like this in a political way. I think we need to go beyond what the activists are saying, because the activists are saying there's a problem. What we need to do is to then ask, like the question you have asked, are the laws sufficient? If the laws are sufficient, then where is the problem? Does the police need to have a look at itself, because they are the ones who are in charge of law and order? It is not the army is in charge of the boundaries. Police, do we need to have maybe a special unit to deal with this matter? And what about the entire justice system? What do we deal, how are we dealing with those cases when they come before the courts of law? And what do we need to do as a society? Because sometimes it is true, it could be actually criminal activity. People are actually doing criminal activity, and because we don't know who is happening, we blame the government. Sometimes it could be true that maybe it is state officials involved who are rogue officials, and they are not really working with instructions from the state. We actually don't know the facts as it stands now. So from where I stand and where I look at, I think the argument is like we have a problem, which is true. And people are looking for someone to blame. So the state is taking the beating. Sometimes people are escalating it to the president. And I think, unfortunately, becoming political. So from where I sit, I think we need to do more. The problem is on the table, and it is in the justice sector, the law and order sector. We need from where I sit, I would want to see a meeting of the Inspector General of Police, the Attorney General of the Republic of Kenya, and the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, and people like the Registrar of the Supreme Court, sitting down to discuss this matter, and it should be something that is publicized and give directions in terms of, now this is the law and justice sector. The table, we have these complaints that there's this X, Y, and Z. As Inspector General of Police, as the Attorney General of the Republic of Kenya, as the Directorate of Criminal Investigation, as the courts, this is what we are saying, you know, so that leadership is in this matter, and Kenyans can see the government is taking the correct, instead of this blame game. Because this blame game, Fred, and those listening to me, deteriorates sometimes. Because let me tell you, if you attack the president, you stand in a functions and attack the president, there are those who, like me, who support the president, who will come in defense. And if you sit down, attack an opposition leader, let's say you are in a function, you attack Kalonzo Musyoka, there are those who are in opposition, and they will stand to defend. And you see, you lose the whole thing. And yet there is an issue on the table. So from where I sit, I think the justice sector should take the lead in this matter. The law and order, the whole they need to come out. Inspector General of Police should take the lead and give us the way forward, that yes, there is a problem, and these people have been reported missing. We are investigating. Yes, there is a problem, but police have also discovered this and that and that, so that those statements
are you, for example,
are able to give the direction.
Parliamentary leadership has made comments